In this demo, I want to show you another way of running an ASP.NET Core project, via the CLI or command line interface. We're looking at Microsoft's documentation for that at the moment. You can find it at the URL on screen. The .NET Command Line Interface, or CLI, is a cross-platform toolchain for developing, building, running, and publishing .NET applications. So most of the actions you do from Visual Studio can actually be executed via the command line as well. You can create projects with it, build them, run them, etc. In fact, behind the scenes, Visual Studio and many of the other IDEs use this CLI and related toolchain to do just that. All these commands start with the .NET command, followed by one of the many other commands you can see on screen now. New can be used for creating a new project, build for building, run for running, you can publish it, and so on. If at any time you're looking for information on one of these topics, you might want to consider this documentation as your first place to go to. What we are looking for is the command to run our project. That's run, so let's click it. .NET Run provides an easy way to run your app from the source code with one command, which makes it very useful for fast iterative development from the command line. Behind the scenes, the command depends on the .NET Build command to build the code. Let's give that a try. I have opened the command prompt at level of our project file. So in my case, that's Pluralsight demo, cityinfo, cityinfo.api. When I execute .NET, I see the built-in interface that helps you learn what you can do with these commands. We can, for example, execute .NET-H, which gives us, amongst some other info, an overview of all the SDK commands we can use. Likewise, you can get help on all of these commands. For example, if we execute .NET Run-H, we get an overview of what is possible with the .NET Run command. All we need to do to build and run our application is execute .NET Run. This will look for the project file, build it, and run it. And there we go. This is the same information we saw outputted to the console command window in the previous demo. Our application is up and running. So from this moment on, we can navigate to the Swagger endpoint. So let's do that. And we see that our application is up and running again. To stop, we can simply close the command window or press Ctrl+C. There we go. There is no best way to run an application. Some people prefer to press F5 in Visual Studio. Other people prefer the CLI. Other people mix and match. Use the way that suits your flow best. That said, working with the CLI is something you should probably get the hang of a bit. If at any time during your career you need to execute some advanced package restore logic, set up a build server or something along those lines, you will probably run into the CLI quite fast. Anyway, with that we now know how to start a new project, how to launch it via Visual Studio, how to launch it via the CLI, and how to configure the way it launches via the launch settings file. In the next demo, we will look into the code a bit more.